Well, welcome back to StrayaMania. It's the only wrestling podcast called StrayaMania. You can find us on iTunes and the YouTubes. Michael, I'm your host, Ricki and joined with Michael Thompson. What's going on?
Rick, we're back.
Yeah.
We've had a massive weekend, 2 pay-per-views. NXT blew the roof off of Brooklyn, the Barclays Center, which was absolutely amazing, which we're going to get into. And then we had SummerSlam as well, which we're also going to get into finer detail on the next podcast. But right now, we're going to start with the good. Not too much bad, not too much ugly. No. It was just all good. I want to kudos to everyone involved. I'm just going to say it off the top. I'm pretty proud of how you treated the TNA alumni on the night, including Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, and Samoa Joe, which is really good because for the sheer fact that we're now seeing how well they can go post-independent wrestling. We saw the debut of Bobby Roode, which we'll get into finer detail because his entrance probably is the best thing I've seen in my entire life, not going to lie. Austin Aries had a decent match with No Way Jose, which we'll get into detail a little bit later. And Samoa Joe just cannot have a bad match.
No, all were fantastic. Definitely the TNA alums were pretty much standouts across the board. But
hashtag TNA TakeOver was the biggest Twitter trend on Twitter during the event, which I thought was pretty funny. I'm like, wait until Eric Young comes into the fold as well, which he's just signed a contract for. So please, Eric Young, utilize him well because he's a fucking great wrestler.
Anyway, so as we do in these wrap-up podcasts, we're going to go down the match card, down the card match by match, give our thoughts, opinions, what we thought of each of them. We're starting off, as we usually do, with the first match of the night. Apparently there was a couple of dark matches. Skipping those. First match, Austin Aries versus No Way Jose. This was a very, very solid match, and it sold me on No Way Jose. I was a bit iffy on the bloke, but he came out, the intensity was really good. His chemistry with Austin Aries was really good as well. And his entrance was really cool. So I'm sold on this bloke, but Austin Aries picked up the win.
He did indeed. And what I loved as well about this match as well is the physicality between both men. No Way Jose showed not only his fun side at the start when he invited some members of the NXT universe to enjoy a conga line with him, but he also managed as well to show his pure aggression that, he's got a second side to him as well, which I really liked as well. It's good to get this part of No Way Jose because at least we know that his character's not bland, it's not stale, that we can actually get behind him, and I think the fans did get behind him. He got booed though, because the fans love Austin Aries.
They do, which was a bit of a shame, but I think by the end of the match, he'd won them over, which is how I felt as well. At the start of the match, I was like, all in Austin Aries, I've watched him more, I've followed his career more than the No Way Jose's, but at the end of the match, I was sort of all in. I'm more now invested in his character. I think there's some depth there that they've explored with the more sort of more aggressive style that he can bring rather than just a happy-go-lucky smiling generic babyface, which there's a million and one of. But he has this new edge to him, which is really good, and they explored that enough for me to buy into the character. So mission accomplished.
What I also loved as well is what happened after the match with the return of Hideo Itami coming out and kicking Austin Aries' ass legitimately, and the fans chanting for GTS. Hideo delivered on the GTS. Have you ever heard of people going mental for GTS?
Not since the CM Punk days. So his entire time, I know he's been off for a year, but previous to that, he had never once broken out the GTS. He'd teased it many times. Apparently on one house show, he nailed somebody. I think it was I can't remember who it was. Oh, Tyler Breeze got GTS on a house show, but televised first GTS of Hideo Itami's career in NXT, and the crowd went nuts. There was one pop for going up onto the shoulders, and there was another pop for actually hitting the knee to Austin Aries right in the scon, and it was one of the biggest pops of the entire weekend. The crowd went fucking nuts for it. It was awesome. So obviously those two going into a program going forward, how can you for that?
I'm very excited because we're going to see two different styles, because we're going to see Austin Aries sort of the more grounded, sort of character. And you got Hideo Itami, who can also bust out a bit of the moonsaults, the flying. He's a bit more aerial as well, so it'll be very interesting to see how those two sort of intertwine with each other.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Looking forward to that. Going forward, next match on the card, Ember Moon, the debuting Ember Moon, defeated poor Australian Billie Kay. Sorry, love, not your turn. But Ember Moon, what a debut.
Wow.
She came out and I think she blew the socks off everybody. Weren't quite expecting her to be that good. Rocking the red contacts, which was a really cool look as well.
Quickly about Ember Moon.
Yes.
Trained by 3 former WWE superstars. Lance Hoyt, aka Vance Archer. Forgot the other one. I'll get back to me. And Booker T.
And Booker T, formerly known as King Booker. So plenty of credentials there. There's a bug in the fucking studio. Get out, you little bastard. Anyway, so came out, delivered a hell of a match with Billie Kay. Pretty much wasn't quite a squash match, but she fucking dominated pretty much the entire length of it. The finisher, I got to talk about the finisher. It is a corkscrew stunner where she comes off the top rope. I've never seen that pulled off. It looks like a brand new move. It was awesome. And
Rodney Mack, by the way, is the third person trained class. Found it.
Good work. So that finisher is awesome. I really dug it. I think great debut. Got the crowd really interested in her going forward. So once again, kudos. Another great match. They're doing pretty well so far. So
I think Tom Phillips said it well enough. I've never seen a move like that before, but that was just insane.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy. I really, really dug it. Her moveset is very power gamey. She's very, very powerful in the ring. You look at Billie Kay, who's sort of your typical twig kind of build. Ember Moon, a lot bigger. Sort of the Oscar build, the really solid. Just like that girl is going to crush your shit. Great look, great moveset, great finisher. I think she's got a lot to offer, and I'm predicting title shot within the next few, a few months' time. We'll see where she's at.
But I'm going to pull out now. Why are they making the Australian women look like the biggest bitches? Because we saw what happened with Emma. It's sort of now carried on to Billie Kay a little bit. We're seeing, the Australian women. They're top shit, basically.
Can't Emma got a title shot? There's nothing wrong with that.
Unfortunately, she's injured at the moment, but praying she comes back nice and healthy because she deserves to be in the title picture on the main roster because I think she's earned it.
Yeah.
But Billie Kay,
for sure.
I think Billie Kay and Ember Moon showed at NXT TakeOver that they are ready to sort of now lock horns with Asuka for that coveted NXT Women's Championship.
I think Billie Kay's got work to do. A little bit. She's good. She's smooth.
Her character's slowly building.
She's smooth in the ring. They need to add some dimension to her character. I was on SmackDown. It's not a character. It's a gimmick. Not really a fan of that, but if they could sort of lock into the narcissistic stuff with her character, that can work really well. And in the ring, just maybe a little bit more polished down the line, a bit more ring time for her, but she's got potential, and hopefully, go Australia. Woo, StrayaMania. Next match on the card, the debuting glorious Bobby Roode versus Andrade Cien Almas, the guy with too many names.
I'm going to ask you a question first before we delve into the match.
Yep.
Your first time being exposed to Bobby Roode.
Yes.
Opinion. What did you think of him in the ring? Before I go on my spiel about Bobby Roode.
No, go for that's fine. I thought he was great. Finisher was a bit shit. To be honest, pump and a slam. Who cares? It's been done by it's Road Dogg's finisher. Think of something better for the guy. Apart from that, the finisher was the only real down thing for me. The rest of it was fucking great. Entrance was great. Attitude in the ring was great. Moveset was great, apart from the finisher. But yeah, he was just fantastic. And looking at the guy, him and Austin Aries, and even Samoa Joe to an extent, it's yes, they can be in NXT, but really these guys could go straight to main and they would just slide straight in without an issue. But it is good to get them in NXT, learn the WWE style. But for the most part, Bobby Roode sold me straight away. And just on that, before you get back to you, Andrade Cien Almas, drop a name, mate. But I completely am now sold on this dude after that match. He got enough time to show off his character for me to buy into it a bit more, because up until this point, he'd just been You're basically Alberto Del Rio, kind of playing the same character, which kind of sucked, but I'm bought into him now. He's got this really cool charisma in the ring. The one thing that really sold me when Bobby Roode threw him to the ropes and he managed to catch himself and then end up like sort of lying prone across the ropes, which was just really cool. So, yeah, this match for me was my just like, okay, I'm into the dude with too many names. Go.
Andreas Cien Almas before I go on Bobby Roode. I'm sold on him as well. I think he's destined for big things on the main roster when he gets the call-up.
Just different name.
Potentially, like, mid-card title shots. He could even slide in and fight for both the World Heavyweight or WWE Heavyweight, and the Universal Championship in the future as well, because I think he's got the body type. He's got the pedigree to become a world champion one day. Bobby Roode, though. What can I say? I've watched him now for about 8-9 years, so I followed his career since 2007. He's reverted back to the character that he was when I first started watching TNA, which is suits, money talks, it pays to be rude, he wants to impress businessmen and all that.
So he's Ric Flair.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. This is the gimmick here.
All great heels are really just Ric Flair with a bit of a tweak. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, keep going.
Basically, Bobby Roode's character in 2007-2008 TNA was he would be this one, he'd be the guy from Wall Street, he'd have stocks, businessmen, he'd wear suits, he'd tell people it'd pay to be rude, as always. Love it. I'm glad that he can bring that gimmick that he had, which is a narcissistic heel, and bring it to NXT. You haven't seen, this is him scratching the surface, wait until he gets into it. He shines that character so well, and I'm proud to see it yet again happen. Fortunately, he doesn't have a lady this time. He went through 2 different women in his run in TNA, Tracy Brooks and Peyton Royce, who were both his managers at the time. Like, they were his chief of staff. They were the ones looking after his stocks, looking after his shares, making sure that everything was running smoothly. Might bring in a woman to help him a little bit, which would be really good. It'd be good to have...
Give him Billy Kay. If you want both of them to sort of tap into that narcissistic heel, archetype in wrestling, then that's sort of a match made straight up. Like, that could work really, really well. And just her presentation with, like, she had the big fucking, like, long robe coming out last night. Bobby Roode's got his robe. The look is a few tweaks and you can match that look up. If you wanted to have a valet, I think she would be a really good mix. And she is a wrestler instead of being someone who's just like Alana, who's just a valet. She can jump in and mix it up at the same time as being his valet. So that's just an idea, but what do you reckon?
I like
Billy Kay?
I love
Billy
the
Kay?
idea. Billy Kay would be good for... Yeah. I think they would have really good chemistry as well, which is really good.
There you go.
Bobby Roode definitely showed why he is the it factor of professional wrestling in that match at NXT TakeOver. And for those who haven't been exposed to him yet, you haven't seen nothing. Wait for it.
He's glorious. So solid match all around, pretty much it managed to sell me on both guys, which is a good sign of a good match. So
the fans were already sold on Bobby Roode when he came out.
Well, yeah.
The 15,000 people sing glorious at the top of their lungs. You know something's going good there.
Yeah, it was fucking great. So, top-notch debut. Can't wait to see what's coming from Bobby Roode. I'm thinking, he's going to work his way into that title scene very, very soon. Next up, this is a match of the year candidate for me, for sure. The Revival, Dash and Dawson against Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Revival with the win again. But that really doesn't matter. This match was fucking awesome from start to finish. I loved everything about it. It was great. The storytelling in the ring was fantastic. The stuff between both teams and then the sort of internal stuff between Gargano and Ciampa. It was just fucking great. And the end sequence, like the last sort of 5 minutes, you got false pins, false finishes, just fucking everything led to this huge climax. And, Revival get the win. Good for them. They're fantastic. But, this match was just one of the best I've seen all year. I'm
just going to say one thing.
Yep.
Big ups to Tom Phillips and Corey Grace for the way they commentated that match as well. I've never heard a match called as well as what that was. Like, they sold me on
JR, mate. JR. Come on.
Well,
it was a good call. I'll give it. It's a good call.
NXT.
Okay, NXT call. I'll give you that.
Probably the best NXT call I've heard.
Yeah.
But
come on.
In style of they made me believe that Gargano and Ciampa, and I thought probably 4 different occasions, Gargano and Ciampa were going to be tag team champions. I was, I was sold. I'm like, these guys are going to win the titles. There was
the false pin.
Yeah,
and I was like, I saw like I think it was Dawson on the outside. I'm like, he's going to put the leg up. He's going to put the leg up, but they hit the 3 count, and I popped, and he's like, I just sort of forgot about them. I'm like, oh fuck it, and then I realised, no, it's going to get waved off.
So I screamed, I'm like, they've won it. I'm like, oh, no, they haven't, because
like
foot's on the rope. Referee's going to like
pain in the fucking ass at Roadblock when Ambrose pinned Triple H, and I lost my shit for like 2 seconds. It was just callbacks to that, but yeah.
Speaking of Roadblock, I think this match eclipses the match that Dash and Dawson had at Roadblock with American Alpha. I think this eclipses it.
This is... It's really hard to say is better than any match they've had with American Alpha, because all of their matches with American Alpha are fucking great.
I think the one at Roadblock, it gets eclipsed though, because it's just how well...
Well, see, I like the one at Dallas better because they won the titles.
Yeah.
Because American Alpha won the titles there, which was fucking great. Just because I popped huge for them, but it's really hard to... Like, all the American Alpha Revival matches are fantastic. This one for me was a different style of match because Tommaso and Gargano are different styles of wrestlers. So, different match, but just as many feels, especially at the end. And great ring psychology when they started targeting Johnny Gargano's knee. And that played into the end of the match really, really well. When he's trying not to tap out when he got the knee bar on. Had to eventually tap out, but they'd worked the story in that knee was getting hammered the entire match. So, ending was great, match was great, match of the year candidate for me. I thought it was fantastic.
And that devastating double team move as well, off the top rope as well, from Dash and Dawson, similar to what they did to Big Cass, which put him on the shelf for a month.
That was brutal.
Just also probably the emotion in the Ciampa Gargano afterwards as well, like Ciampa's basically comforting Gargano, bringing him backstage as well, like just the crowd cheering them on, saying, you guys did well. You guys did very well. They're going to win the tag titles at probably the next TakeOver event, I think.
See, I'm sort of like, yes, it'd be great if they did, but at the same time, there is so much money in a feud between those two guys. Even if it's not, like, the obvious one is, Tommaso Ciampa turning on Johnny Gargano, turning heel, having the feud run down that path. Which is predictable.
I thought to my mind, I thought it was going to happen then and there, because it took a while for them to get out of the ring. Like, I thought he was going to help him up and then attack. Like, that was my first instinct, and I thought, no, these guys have to tag team for at least another couple of months. I want to see these guys with the belts on.
Yeah, that's what I thought that too. I'm just like, there's money in that feud of them together. But at the same time, I do want to see these guys run as the champs for a bit, because they are so good. And really, I want the Revival up on main ASAP. And the only tag team right now that I want to see take the belts off the Revival is Tommaso and Ciampa. Tommaso and Gargano. So, fantastic match. Everything about it was great. And I'll be talking about this one come the end of the year when we're talking about our matches of the year. Yeah,
this is way up there as well. Speaking of matches that are way up there as well, the Women's Championship match between Bayley and Asuka.
Oh man, the feels.
It was so emotional from start to finish. But
Bayley.
Probably having the 3 of the 4 horsewomen out there as well, having Sasha, having Becky, having Charlotte out there as well, sort of brings a bit of emotion as well. Because
I loved how they kept them separate too.
They did. I like that.
The thing is, like, last year I'm pretty sure Becky and Charlotte were ringside and they were standing together. But I think at the time they were on that bloody, what is it, the submission sorority or whatever it was. They were on the same team.
No, they weren't.
Were they?
Charlotte and Sasha, no.
Charlotte and Becky.
Oh, Charlotte and Becky, yeah.
They were on the same, okay, that's right.
PCB.
Yeah, that's right. It was the submission sorority until they realised that was a porn company. Which was hilarious.
I think it's the funniest thing ever.
I know. Anyway, so good little thing to keep them separate, which was great. But yeah,
sort of built that they hate each other, sort of thing.
Yeah,
which is good.
No, it went really well. Asuka beat Bayley. It was a fantastic match. Definitely, I think this eclipsed their first match, just because Bayley went in more educated, knowing who she was up against. She could counter a lot of the offense she fell to.
More physicality as well.
More physicality. Like, it was a really physical match, which I love. I love when Bayley actually gets in there. Like, anytime she's in there with Sasha and now with Asuka, they put on just a fantastic, really physical, hard-hitting match.
Asuka was on the ropes for a couple of those moments as well. We thought maybe Bayley could win the championship back. Like, she may not be going up to the main roster.
I wanted to believe, but at the same time, like, no, Asuka's holding this thing for a very long time because she is money, and she's fantastic in the ring.
Triple H sees so much future in Asuka being the women's championship of NXT.
Oh yeah, he's obviously massive on her because she was just great, and she hasn't been pinned yet. She's looking really, really strong. She's going to be, when someone does get that pin down the line, which I'm not expecting for a long time yet because there's no one at the moment that I think can step to her.
Then she'll go straight to the main roster from there, I'd
well,
say.
If she could go to the main roster either with just the one loss of losing the title or even just maybe surrendering the title like Paige had to when she moved up to the main roster, like having that mystique around her would be great because she is that sort of character where you can be like, she's moved to the main roster, she gives up the NXT title, she never lost the NXT title.
She's still undefeated.
Yep, and she can move up and pretty much move straight into the title picture of whatever brand she goes to. Like, that's a really good way to build her up, and she is just looking strong as hell. There is no one at the moment except maybe, depending on how much they build Ember Moon going forward, no one at the moment I see taking that belt off Asuka at all.
I was going to say maybe a Nia Jax, but Nia Jax is already up in the main roster.
She's on the main roster, she's gone, and Asuka beat her already, so no more of that.
I still think it's funny, just Asuka screaming at Nia Jax in Japanese during that contract signing. Like, I still can't get my head wrapped around it. I'm like, that is just really, really funny.
It is. It's a bit funny, but it's also like she's probably swearing a lot and just getting away with it because no one can understand what she says,
also,
which is great.
The fans after the match,
thank
you, Bayley. They knew that it was Bayley's swan song. I think I tweeted out as well before the match. I'm like, this is Bayley's swan song because like she probably got the tap on the shoulder before the start of the championship match by Triple H saying, "Oh, by the way, you'll be on Raw Monday." Straight away.
Yeah, I reckon she'll have a cooling off period. Finn did as well. Like, he got drafted and then was on the next 2 weekends worth of NXT house shows. So
wouldn't do a Sami Zayn like straight away.
No, I reckon she'll probably 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I reckon just because I don't. It's really hard to say. Like, obviously, her showing up tomorrow night on Raw or the night after on SmackDown would be really great. But I reckon just give it a cooling off period. We had a big sort of shake up in the women's division, which we'll get to in our SummerSlam podcast. But I think that needs to be addressed first, and then Bayley can come up. So
don't rush her.
Yeah, don't rush her coming up just yet. And look, she said herself when she was on Jericho's podcast, she doesn't want to come up and go straight into the women's title position program. She wants to have a couple of feuds first, work her way up as she did in NXT, because it is that organic build of someone working their way from the bottom to the top. Because not every person that watches WWE watches NXT.
Yeah.
So
there's the hardcore fans that watch NXT, then there's the casual fan who just watches Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah. So I don't think it'd be great to see her tomorrow night, but I think give it a couple of weeks, let it cool off, and then have a. Because not having her show up tomorrow night is more of a surprise than her showing up. And then when she rocks up in a couple of weeks' time, you're going to be like, oh, fucking holy shit, it's Bayley.
Like, don't make it unannounced. Like, just do not announce it at all, like, she's coming.
Yeah, so I reckon they go that route. But overall, this match was fantastic. Asuka goes forward as the champ, and she's going to hold down that women's division on NXT for a while yet. And she's doing a great job so far, so keep it up. Final match of the card. Shinsuke versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship.
And new NXT champion
Shinsuke Nakamura, after he broke Joe's fucking jaw.
With that
Kinshasa. What a fucking match. What an absolute fucking corker of a match.
Brutal match.
Fucking strong style, man.
Loved it.
Strong style. Oh, it was so good.
Strong style versus submission.
Yeah.
And
like Joe's hits were just as stiff as Shinsuke's.
Yeah. I think they went brutal on each other. Like, they know each other as well from the past. They're like, just go as hard as they can on each other.
Yep.
Joe could not, for the life of me, apply the coquina clutch. He could not get it on and hold it on. He failed to.
Yeah, that was, like, once again, just the story being told here is just fucking fantastic. And just before we go into the match in depth, we'll rewind a little bit. Shinsuke's fucking entrance, man.
Yep.
How good was that?
Michael Jordan's violinist as the man to escort Shinsuke Nakamura out to the ring. I'm actually going to rewind you a little bit more back then.
Oh, please do.
Funaki in the changing rooms of Shinsuke Nakamura before his match.
Who else was there?
Oh, Hideo Itami. No, sorry, not him.
Come on, man. You can do it.
Mine's gone blank a little bit. I've had a big day.
Oh shit, mine's gone blank too. No, fuck it. What's his name? Oh, god damn it. See, now we both look stupid.
Yeah.
Shit. I might just take this bit out of this podcast. Anyway, so we had beautiful entrance coming down. It was fucking great. And then we get to the match, and we got security in there trying to hold back both guys, which I thought was really cool.
Samoa Joe having the Goldberg-esque like entrance into the arena too, with the security guards on either side to make sure that he doesn't do anything vast and goes in and finds Shinsuke before the match and almost murders him.
Yeah, it was just fucking so strong, like strong style. It was fucking great. And yeah, was it 1, 2, 3 Kinshasas eventually that dropped Joe? But we're pretty sure that first one may have broken Joe's jaw. We did see the cross signs go up after the match, which could be work, it could be in the storyline, or it could be legit, because that knee looked fucking brutal, and I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one fucking work or not, because that looked fucking harsh. But yeah,
cooling off period now for Joe.
Yeah, I think
he's going to go to the main roster.
Either way, if it is a legit injury or it is a work, they have to give him time off, because you can't come back next week on NXT with a broken jaw, have your jaw wide up and trying to cut a promo. You're just not going to work. So
I would love for Joe. I'm going to delve into a little bit of the TNA past here as well.
Oh, please do.
Nation of Violence gimmick.
Okay.
Which is where he basically walked around. He's not going to do it because it's PG.
Yeah.
But in the TNA, he used to have the tribal war paint on his left side of his cheek.
Yep.
And he'd walk around with a hunting knife. And he would go backstage and he would pull it to people's necks, saying that he's going to hunt them down, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I know, but
NXT. No fucking way.
It would be good to have the Nation of Violence Samoa Joe there. Like it would add more to his character. He's gone a little bit to it throughout the last few weeks and all that, where he's just
Shinsuke's brought it out of him.
Yeah,
which has been good.
I like the Nation of Violence Joe because it shows that Joe can be the most sadistic, brutal man walking the face of the earth, and he's a very dangerous man if you cross paths with him. Like, if you're on his wrong side, he can bring out how sadistic he can really be and how brutal he can be to his opponent and not give any shits at all about what happens to them.
And I would like to see it. Like, I think obviously he gets a rematch at some point, comes back, maybe in 2 takeovers time, maybe there's a takeover in between where Shinsuke fights someone else. But
Bobby Roode.
Well, yeah, I would have no issues with that at all. But I think Samoa Joe gets his rematch at some point. I said in our pre-show that I wanted Samoa Joe to be the guy to hang around and just be the consummate in the NXT male division. Obviously, I was wrong.
I think I won NXT.
I think you did.
By a match.
We didn't differ on that much, did we?
We only differed on the main events, because you wanted Joe to win, I wanted Shinsuke to win.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, you won. I think...
because I wanted Joe to go up to because I think he's made ready to go up to the main roster. I'd say
he is, but so is Shinsuke. Like, Shinsuke's been doing, New Japan. They do Wrestle Kingdom every year in front of 60,000 people.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a guy who's intimidated by the big crowd or the big moment. He's done that before. So both are as main event ready as the other. I think it's just like they're working on getting the WWE style ingrained into Shinsuke a little bit more. Then maybe he comes up. Whereas like Joe has adapted to the WWE style, the American style of wrestling, pretty easily because he's been in TNA forever and a bunch of other American promotions. So
Ring of Honor,
yeah. So he is ready to come up, probably a little bit more than Shinsuke is. So it makes sense if that's the direction they're going.
I think the one place he needs to go is SmackDown. Two reasons.
Yeah, is one of them AJ Styles.
Not only that, okay, 3 reasons.
3 reasons. Okay, go.
3 reasons. AJ Styles, because
Fuck yeah.
God, I love seeing those two wrestle each other. I've seen
Yeah.
it wrestle plenty of times in TNA in the past and Ring of Honor.
Yep,
Number 2, he brings star power to the main event scene.
he does.
Number 3, I finally will be able to get to see the match I've been waiting 9 years to see. The match against John Cena.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's the one match I've been waiting to see.
Cena v Joe is money.
Cena v Joe is the match I've been dying to see for a very long time. I've had it played out. I've created Samoa Joe and SmackDown vs. Raw. I've had them two face each other. I've dreamt about it as well. Like they main event SummerSlam, main event Royal Rumble, main event WrestleMania.
Yeah, I remember that period. Like, it would have been
Joe is money.
Would have been like late 2000s, early 2010s. But it was like every pay per view, thing you'd see on the main event channel would be like Cena would be the figurehead of the WWE main event ads, and then Joe would be the figurehead of the TNA ads on main event. And you're just like, these two guys need to fight each other at some point. And we have that opportunity now. Send him to SmackDown, and then we get AJ and Joe. We get Cena and Joe. We get Ambrose and Joe. We get Bray and Joe.
We get Randy Orton and Joe.
Fucking right we do. So send him to, obviously sending him to Raw would be good as well, but send him to SmackDown. They need the star power. They need the legitimacy. And Joe brings that in fucking spades.
And he can win the championship and be considered a legitimate world heavyweight champion. Like, he'll be a WWE heavyweight champion.
Fucking right. Let's have it happen.
He's the man. He can carry it.
He can. So, looking back, overall, how does this one first rank by itself, and then how does it rank compared to last year? Because last year was fucking great.
By itself was amazing.
Yep.
I think, as we said at the start, TNA TakeOver was probably the main key in this event because Aries shone, Rude shone, Joe shone, they all shone together, which is really good to see.
Yep.
It's good to see that NXT and the WWE have said, okay, these guys came from our rivals, but they've got star power, they've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the charisma, they've got everything we need in the WWE.
Let's not bury them.
Let's not bury them. Let's not bury them at all. We need to use them
before.
because we want to show that TNA dropped the ball on these three in particular because these guys are money. They're worth money. We've got superstars that they need to face. We've got those superstars. Let's see how much money we can rake in feuding with the superstars that the fans want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And compared to last year, it's really hard to sort of compare them. Obviously, last year had, I think, it ended up being... Was it our match of the year last year was Sasha v. Bayley?
I think last year just still wins, but but this year I think is close by.
Yeah.
But last year still number one.
Last year it was a great show last year. This year there wasn't a weakness on the entire card. Like there's nothing that I can go, that wasn't that good. Everything was fucking great. Like it's so rare, at least in WWE, where you get these sort of pay-per-views. But when it comes to NXT, they just keep fucking delivering. Triple H, you are at the moment
a genius.
Yeah, in the whole business of pro wrestling, you are the best booker, whatever you want to call it, general manager, behind the scenes dude, the guy that runs the place. He is the best right now. There is nowhere else, and I don't really look that far elsewhere, but
he's doing something right.
He's doing something really, really right, and it's capturing an audience that WWE, I think, has been missing for a while. It is the person that...
I think the independents
fans. They
missing.
like watching the independent circuit, and they're just like, these are the guys that are the in-ring technicians. Cruiserweight Classic, obviously a big thing as well that he spearheaded. It is fantastic.
And we're going to see plenty of the superstars from the Cruiserweight Classic signed to lucrative contracts.
Kota Ibushi, that was it.
Kota Ibushi.
He was in the... God damn it. Okay, I'm leaving it in the podcast. When you get to that point, it's just be like my fucking brain just tinged, and it was like Kota Ibushi was in fucking the locker room with Shinsuke.
We'll probably get a message from people listening to the podcast saying it's Kota Ibushi.
Yeah.
And then they're going to listen to it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, they finally said it.
So patience, people. I do get there eventually. Shut up.
8 minutes later.
Shut up, man. Kota fucking Ibushi. But speaking of the Cruiserweight Classic, he has had a match on NXT already. He's coming up through the ranks. He'll be on NXT TV once the Cruiserweight Classic is done, I reckon, on a full-time basis.
You don't
they
think
need to sign that motherfucker?
Well, they're going to bring the Cruiserweight Championship in the Cruiserweight division. I think Kota Ibushi will go straight to the main roster with the Cruiserweight Championship.
So I don't think he's winning the Cruiserweight Championship.
You don't think?
Nope. I reckon...
Cedric Alexander?
No. I reckon it's the Brian Kendrick.
Really?
Yep. just because he's an easy slot straight in the main roster.
I love the
If they're giving him a belt, like they revealed the trophy during NXT, cool trophy.
I love it.
But is there a belt to go along with that trophy, or is the belt going to be on Raw, waiting for whoever wins to come up and then try to claim it from, let's say, Neville, who it will probably be. He is pretty much your default number one contender up on Raw at the moment. So we're not too sure what's going to happen. Can't wait for the end of the Cruiserweight Classic. It's been fucking fantastic so far, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, like I was saying, it is for that... The audience he's managed to curate is the hardcore fan, like the diehard WWE fan who used to go and watch OVW, FCW to try to scout who was coming up through the developmental.
Yep.
Your indie fan who... You get that same style of indie wrestling, but just the production value is so much better. You've got a real, you got a good ring, good lighting, good camera angles. Like it's taking stuff like Ring of Honor back in the day when it was at its peak, like during the Punk day, during the Samoa Joe day, during the Bryan Danielson day. But you get, just that WWE production level, which is really, really good, because that's what I feel the more casual viewer is sort of, turned off by indie wrestling just because you've got. Not the best picture quality, not the best audio quality, shoddy camera angles, not good lighting, like that sort of stuff can throw people off. And I know it threw me off for a while, like trying to watch that sort of stuff. Which is, well, it doesn't look that great, so I don't think the wrestling's going to be that great. Whereas they've got that indie feeling, but you've got just the production value that is going to entice you hardcore and casual fans at the same time.
Exposure is also the key that they're doing very well as well.
Well, yeah, that is real. That is a big point too.
Massive exposure to those independent wrestlers who've come from Japan, from Mexico, from the United States in different independent wrestling promotions, even Australia as well.
More Australian wrestlers.
They're getting a lot of exposure, which is wonderful to see.
It is good. So, look, overall, like I said, I think I agree with you. Fantastic show when it stands alone. Really, really hard to top last year's.
Probably because of the match of the year between Bayley and Sasha.
Yeah,
that's... Unless next year, if they go back to Brooklyn for a third time, which they most likely will, because I think WWE will be at SummerSlam next year for Brooklyn again.
I think that's on like a 3 or 4 year deal with the Barclays Center, so they'll be there. Yeah.
So, unless they have a match of the year, you can't top 2015. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, look, it is a tough call to make, but I think as it stands alone, and especially based on the entirety of the weekend, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn #2, fucking awesome show.
But I think it's probably the best TakeOver show of 2016. I love Dallas, but I think Brooklyn had a bit more spark than Dallas.
Yeah, I reckon I agree with you. I'm trying to think. But Dallas had Shinsuke and Zayn. Oh, it's a tough call.
It is.
It was a good show, if not as good as Dallas. Probably they're fucking. They're so tight. They're so close. Yep. Anyway, I think we're done. For this one anyway. So. You can follow us, find us, all the things at StrayaMania. So that's at STR. Fuck me, my brain.
StrayaMania.
I was gonna say that.
Insta, Twitter, YouTube. We're in the verge of making a Facebook page as well. You can find myself at TomMomedia at THOMMOMEDIA. My brain's still awake for some reason after uni.
Yeah, fucking hell. And you can find me at all my stuff at Ricki Needs at RICKINEEDS. My brain hurts from so much goddamn. It was a fucking 6-hour show today, man.
It was.
My head hurts. So right after, not after this one goes up. So but look out tomorrow. So this podcast is going to go up pretty much immediately tomorrow. We'll be doing our SummerSlam breakdown, so look out for that.
I think they'll be going up tomorrow or Wednesday.
I reckon it'll be going up Tuesday, the 23rd of August at 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That is when it's going up, so go listen to it because we have a lot to say. So much to say. But anyway, you can find the podcast at iTunes, at YouTube, or at your preferred podcasting thing of choice on Android, like myself. So go and follow us, like us, subscribe, download, comment, rate, helps us out a fucking great deal.
You can also go to the App Store, which is my point of call at the moment, on iTunes. You can do all that stuff. Also, a huge thank you to Podbean, who's been our host, our service. We love you guys, love the work you do. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the shout-outs, the promotions. You guys are doing wonderful work at Podbean. And
I was doing a thumbs up then on an audio medium. I'm an idiot.
And we give you thumbs up.
I'm used to doing video because I do YouTube.
Massive thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thank you again, Podbean.
So hang around for the SummerSlam podcast. It'll be up pretty much not long after this one anyway. So, yeah, I think we're done.
We're done.
All right, so we will catch you guys later. We're back with the weekly show this Friday. Once again, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on Friday is the date or the time for the weekly show. So hang around for that one. And yeah, we're working on that big announcement for this weekly podcast.
Yep.
Yes, we are. We'll be working on that this week. So you hang around and yeah, listen to that.
Drum rolls involved.
My brain hurts. Let's just go home. I'm done.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you.